Tensions are rising between France and the UK in that row over post-Brexit fishing rights. The French President, Emmanuel Macron, is suggesting that the UK hasn't kept to its commitments in the withdrawal agreement. So let's get more on this now with my next guest, who we have linked up with. I'm delighted to be joined now by Bruno Bonnell, a member of the French National Assembly and a member of Emmanuel Macron's party, En Marche. Great to see you, Bruno. It's a real mess on both sides of the channel, isn't it?
It is actually a real mess. But to be fair, after 10 months of endless negotiations, where we've been trying to be quiet and fair and nice, we still have 50% of the French fishermen with pending licenses. That's why the tension really grew. And of course, a way to show that we were serious about respecting the Brexit Treaty was to show that we have ways to retaliate, if any. So, unfortunately, this escalation
arresting a fisherman and charging him and saying he has to appear in court in the August and towing fishing boats into port and threatening to block lorries is hardly a calm and considered response from France.
Well, as I said, after 10 months of negotiation, but again, in the diplomatic language, it means, putting your stick in the ground and wait for people to sit around the table. And President Macron and Boris Johnson will meet very soon to effectively, I hope, find a more flexible way to resolve this issue.
OK. Tell me this, because in the United Kingdom, if there's an election coming up, then for the right wing to say, we'll send a gunboat over to sort all of this out, is usually quite a vote winner. Is that the same in France, then, where Monsieur Macron is basically already not gunboats, but just sending out the border controls and towing them in and arresting them? It's all a bit of posturing before the election in May, isn't it, Bruno?
I don't think it's posturing for the election. May is very far away, and, this is probably the first one of many trade discussions to happen. So I would rather say that it's the posturing before the negotiation to show that we are serious in the respect of this treaty. Nothing else, nothing more. We just want this treaty to be respected.
I wonder how confident Monsieur Macron, President Macron, is, where he's written this letter to van der Leyen saying, look, read the riot act to the others. We've got to have everybody lining up behind us. Germany's not at all sure. Poland's thoroughly fed up with the whole EU at the moment because of its courts. I mean, is it not only Monsieur Macron, but also the EU project that is a bit shaky over all of this?
Well, definitely Brexit created the trauma within the EU. And of course, the bloc is trying to show that it makes a lot of sense. So beyond the election, the French election that seems to be really alarming the UK, is the EU structure that wants this treaty to be respected. So I don't see anything wrong about this. And Mr. Macron, remember, is becoming president of the EU January 1st. And he wants to show that this Brexit deal has to be respected.
Yeah. Finally, Bruno, you know as well as I that this lovely diplomatic expression that you were just referring to, that Monsieur Macron and Prime Minister Johnson are going to have a brush-by at the G20 meeting. They will inadvertently meet and say, Emmanuel, Boris, and have a little natter. Deep down, truth to be told, when it's off the front pages of the paper, is there grounds for a deal?
Yes, they are. I'm sure that on both sides we can find ways to make this deal happen. And again, England and UK and France, we like brothers. We fight hard, but deep down it looks like we hate each other, but deep down we love each other. So I'm sure there is ground for deals, and everybody will be happy.
Yeah, Bruno, just don't ever call the United Kingdom England, because those Scottish...
No, that's why. Sorry.
You can send your biggest aircraft carrier and the Aberdonians and Fraser people, they'll sink them all.
Never call a Frenchman a Parisian, OK? So that's the deal. OK, we respect this. Sorry about that.
Bruno, always good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Bruno Bonnell there, who's a member of the National Assembly, and talking the talk about the nature of the punch-up, but the reality is it's about Brexit, and there are grounds for getting a deal, but the two leaders have got to have their little foot-stamping session first. I'm not sure I'm totally out of agreement with Bruno on that one.